Your people need this education. Even people that make over 100,000, 52% of them report their top stress is financial stress. These HR leaders, I heard a couple of sessions on this in a conference recently, they're saying that they're dealing with reduced performance, reduced productivity because employees are under stress, right? And it's largely financial stress.
Welcome back to the MISHRM videocast. I'm your host, Greg Coyne. We are happy to have an incredible guest with us once again. Here today is Lara Galloway. She is the Senior Vice President of Financial Education with Enlighten 567. Lara, thanks for being here today.
Thanks for having me. I'm so excited to be here with you.
Well, I am too, because there is a lot of financial enlightenment that needs to be had. And I guess before we even get started, a couple things. Why don't you tell us, first of all, what Enlighten 567 is all about, just to give our viewers a little bit more credence on what it is you do.
Yeah, well, you kind of hit a perfect pun there, Greg, when you said to enlighten people on financial education. That's what we do. Enlighten 567 is all about financial education. Our belief is that financial education is for everyone.
Awesome.
And we want to just reduce the financial illiteracy that is out there. We want to make talking about finances something everybody has. Okay. And Enlighten 567 really helps bring financial education inside the workplace, inside of organizations. So we partner with HR leaders we find a speaker in the community that's a financial expert and that could come in and provide financial workshops to the members or the employees there.
Awesome. Here's something else too, and I hear it a lot out there. There's a lot of people who say, "Oh, I'm financially fine. I'm okay." Who are the people that essentially need it the most? I would say, and need that enlightenment?
Yeah, that's a great question. Really, pretty much everybody needs as much as they can get. They probably need more. Very few of us are financially savvy. Just if you think about the legal profession, we all know certain things that we need to do to follow laws, to file our taxes, to create maybe a will or something like that in our lives, but we're not attorneys.
Sure.
And there are complexities that we certainly don't understand. And there are all sorts of impacts in those complexities that we can't even think about if we're not educated in that field. It's a field of expertise. So there's a certain amount you can do yourself, no doubt. You know to save money that you make, you know how to maybe invest some of the money, but a lot of us are not growing up or going to school and having conversations around the family dinner table or in the classroom that teach us how to make money, how to manage our money, how to invest our money, and how to spend our money, and how to do that in the way that is the most advantageous to us. And there's all this talk out in the world right now that there's this, I don't know what the exact number is, but it's something like $38 trillion wealth transfer, intergenerational wealth transfer. That means the richest group of people in history, the baby boomers, are going to be transferring their money down to millennials, Gen Zs, and younger. And that transfer is going to happen for people that maybe haven't had as much financial conversations, education as that generation has. And when we think about it, the people who are at work right now are in their 20s, 30s, 40s, right? They're going to be the recipients of that big financial transfer. They're going to be getting a lot of that. And they're out there building their own wealth for their own families, right? They're working, they're saving, whatever. We want to empower them to make good financial decisions. We want to empower them to know how to get the most out of their money and live the best life and have, all that makes possible. And at the same time, we've got a group of people that has the highest college debt. We're also in an economic environment where we have the highest inflation. So they're really, Greg, I'm just trying to say that across all of that, whether you are close to retirement and you're watching inflation eat that right now, or whether you're younger in the workforce and not even sure what all this investment stuff is about, you need to understand it now, because there are things you can do at a younger age that are like, if you just put $500 a month away or $500 a year away in your 20s, it'll make such a huge difference when you're older. So we're just really trying to reach everybody at whatever stage they are.
I love this, because money is something that I love to talk about, And I want to segue with regards to what you just said, because most people that hear that T word, trillion, they can't comprehend it.
I can't.
And most of us can barely comprehend the M, the millions.
Yeah.
So, and also, we talk about it with our clients too, in the sense that most of us weren't taught to talk about money. As a matter of fact, most of the messages we get as kids and then grow into adults are, believe it or not, anti-money, meaning it's impolite to talk about money with anyone. It's don't talk about it with strangers for sure. And then in our world where we sell, well, you got to do both. Talk to strangers about money. So how do you circle back and get people to do something that is, quite frankly, the opposite of what they've been taught? Now they have to go in, and you said it, we've all heard it before. If you're able to save in your early 20s, it compounds over time, and all of a sudden you're a millionaire, and you barely did anything, but it's going against the grain.
Yeah.
So I guess my question is, how do you get people comfortable in order to talk about money? Because the enlightenment part brings it to the table. My question is how you get them to the table in the first place.
So that's such a great question. I work with financial advisors, and they tell me all the time that, the people who are 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, that they are very interested in education. These advisors put on workshops in public places like libraries, community centers, and community colleges all the time. And you know who comes? Retirees or pre-retirees. They love the education, right? So they're coming in and they're getting information. You know who doesn't love going into workshops at libraries, community centers, and community colleges? 20, 30, 40-year-olds. It's just not something. We would rather get our information on an app. We'd rather self-study online. So the financial advisors that I talk to tell me, like, look, I would love to educate this group of people. I can't get an audience with them. And so then on the other hand, I'm talking to all these HR leaders, Greg, like so many that we met at MISHRM recently. They were so great. And, I'm talking to them and they're saying, oh my God, these kids need so much help. These young people in the workforce have no one else to turn to. No one's talking to them about how to handle their money. They're not putting money in their 401k. Some of them are living paycheck to paycheck. Some of them are getting wages garnished. And they're also buying a Lexus at the same time. Somebody please help these people out. They need this education. So my long answer to your short question is, it's a captive audience. If you're an employer and you've got people in the office, or maybe you even have a remote workforce, we work with that too, we do webinars as well. You've got a captive audience. If you say, on Tuesday at 12, we're having a lunch and learn in the auditorium. We're going to be bringing in a financial expert to talk about investment fundamentals or 401k rollovers or how to plan for your retirement. Do what you can do now to make it, make $1 million when you leave, right? We're going to have people come in. You've got a captive audience. What are they going to do? Say no? Their manager walks to the auditorium, they walk to the So we actually are getting people who are showing up because kind of it was just they were told to, or it was an opportunity and it's provided, and what else are you doing? You're going to sit at your desk and work? You're going to go get an education, right? So they're coming and they're listening and they're like, oh my God, I had no idea I should buy life insurance right now. I thought that was for old people. And they're like, I'm really smart now because now I've got a young family and I want to protect my family and I don't want to have to worry about this when I'm older, and it's going to be so much more valuable and so less expensive. So they're getting that education because they were at work when the opportunity was presented. So the HR leaders that I'm talking to, they're saying it is such a benefit to be able to offer courses like this, to teach people things that they don't know that they don't know.
You said it, that's perfect. And here's the other thing that I want to find out, because you mentioned HR leaders. They're going to be driving the bus on this. And this is quite frankly, it's a must, especially for young people. So how does the program really work? Like, obviously I would assume that HR would get involved with their organization. What's the cost? What's the involvement? How does it all work?
So I love this question. One thing I really like to say is, to the HR leaders that we work with, your people need this education. Without it, the number one stress that anybody feels, even people who make over $100,000 a year, which by most standards people would say is a lot of money. Even people that make over 100,000, 52% of them report their top stress is financial stress. Imagine all the rest of the people. The number one stress in the workforce is financial stress. Okay? Let me tell you, financial stress, Greg, it wreaks havoc in the workforce. Okay? It reduces performance because people aren't as productive. They're not as attentive. They're worried. They're spending a lot of time at work worried about stress. Sometimes they're absent. They're not showing up because they have to take care of things that are happening due to financial stress. So these HR leaders, and I heard a couple of sessions on this in a conference recently, they're saying that they're dealing with reduced performance, reduced productivity because employees are under stress, right? And it's largely financial stress. And there's also, we've been through the Great Resignation, we've got all this stuff going. There are these factors that is causing so much pressure on the HR managers I'm talking to, where they're saying like, we're offering more and more money, we're dealing with attrition, we're dealing with resignations. We've got to find ways to bring value to our company. We've got to offer more benefits. We're looking for more perks to add into our plan, and it's just costing us an arm and a leg. And I say, well, listen, I can really help you. Okay, call me, because I offer a financial wellness program. Okay, what we offer at Enlighten 567 is a financial wellness program made up of financial education workshops led by financial experts in your area. They're in your community. These are people who are working for a living, but join up with our nonprofit partner, SOFA, the Society for Financial Awareness. I'll explain that a little more.
Okay.
But Enlighten 567 and SOFA partner together to bring in and vet these financial experts in the community. And we teach them our tracks. They learn how to be presenters on our financial topics. Then we function as a speakers bureau and match them up to companies that are looking for financial experts, that want to have a financial wellness program, that want to bring them in for these workshops at their company. And so we work together with them, and all of our workshops don't cost a dime to the employer nor to the employees, okay? Right. It's completely free. So our financial wellness program takes time off of the HR leaders' back. We organize everything. We find the speaker, we set up the dates and times, the topic, we create marketing collateral, we do registrations online, we remind people to show up, we do all this stuff. So we do all of that for the HR leaders so they don't have to. And then it doesn't cost a dime, okay, to the company nor to the employees. And you might be thinking there's got to be a catch, right?
Yeah, because if I'm not, I know that the HR leaders out there are, so.
It sounds too good to be true, I get it. But as I said, we're in partnership with the Society for Financial Awareness, which is a 501c3 nonprofit organization. They've been around since 1993, okay? And this is exactly what they've been doing. They've been doing financial education workshops. And all of the people who join, all these financial advisors and experts that join into SOFA, they do so, Greg, because they want the opportunity to get in front of their community and do financial education. They're passionate about education. They know that education leads to empowerment. If they educate people, if they get in front of people that are looking to better themselves financially and to understand what it is to make good financial decisions for their future, if they're there providing that expectation, some of those people are going to get enough just from the workshops, and they will have done their job, and that's awesome. But some people are going to say, you know what, just like we were saying earlier with the legal advice, I know I'm saving, I know I'm investing in my 401k, but I really don't know what else I don't know. Can you help me? And our educators are professionals in the industry. So if you decide that you need to take the next step, they can work with you. You can hire them. They can be your financial advisor. They never pitch, promote their products, their company, or themselves. They're a nonprofit educator. But if somebody does decide to work with them, then they've gotten that opportunity to speak to their community, to provide that much needed education. And that's exactly why they do it. So they sign up with us because they know if they go ring the doorbell and ask an HR leader if they can come in and do workshops, HR leader's probably going to go, no, you're probably just going to try and sell me stuff. And our bylaws prohibit that explicitly. They will get fired if they do. So they're not allowed to do that. So the HR leaders love working with us because we guarantee a wonderful generic financial education with great speakers. And our advisors love working with us because they know that by getting out there in the community and speaking to these people and helping them, that when somebody needs to hire somebody, who are they going to go to? Google? No, they're going to call this person that's been coming into their company and helping at their workshops.
I love it. So here's the question then. HR is inundated with a ton of information on a regular basis. So my question is then, how do they reach out? How do they connect with you? What's the first step for them?
So very easy to reach out. I would love for anybody to reach out to me.
Okay.
And I'm very friendly. I'll even give my phone number because it just makes it easier.
Okay.
So they're welcome to call me at 248-880-4081. That's my number.
Love it.
And if they're interested in finding out more about our company, they can go to Enlighten567.com. Now, that website has a lot of other opportunities for some of our public workshops that we do as well.
Okay.
And I kind of want to take a step back and explain a little piece too, because I mentioned something about White Glove, I mentioned Enlighten 567 and SOFA. So Enlighten 567 is a part of a company called White Glove.
Yeah.
White Glove has been working with financial advisors forever to help them do workshops in the public sphere. So at the libraries, community centers, community colleges. So that's the company that I've been working for about 5 years now. And White Glove has Enlighten 567 as part of our brand to do all of these educational workshops, now also going into companies like we're doing and organizations. Enlighten 567 and SOFA have that partnership where we're all working together, because we know that some of the people that we work with out in the world, just to get this financial education out to everybody, some people want to come to a public thing. They're not affiliated with a company or an organization that we're working with.
Yeah.
So White Glove works with advisors to put those public workshops on. And I head up the division that is doing these workshops that are private inside of corporations and inside of organizations. So they can also reach me at my White Glove address. So info@whiteglove.com.
Love it. Because I think it's important that they know that, as well as to me, this is a no-brainer. There are a lot of people that are stressed out financially, and you and the rest of your cohorts are giving them an opportunity to learn about it and take the stress away, both from an HR perspective and an individual's perspective. So.
Oh yeah. I mean, the inflation right now it's hitting everybody, okay? And even, people that are very close to retirement or in retirement, they want help. People who are many years away from retirement, but who are trying to be really smart about how to save for their family, save for a home, save for a vacation, save for college, pay off college debt, get themselves into, whatever that next opportunity is for them. All of these stages need help. And we have over 20 topics, Greg, that range from investment fundamentals to retirement income planning, from Social Security to 401k rollovers, from investments in a fragile market to estate planning and long-term care. I mean, we go all the way through all the stages of life. We try to meet people wherever they are. And I mean, at certain ages, there are things that may interest us, and there are certain topics that won't interest us. So we always work with our HR leaders and we say, let's look at your demographic at your company. Yeah. You tell us about your people. Who do you want to attend this, right? Who are the people that need it? Okay. Who are the other people who probably really want it? Let's make sure we offer workshops. And we typically recommend quarterly workshops, Greg. Okay. That's kind of a nice cadence for people. It doesn't burn them out too quickly like having a whole bunch at once.
Yeah.
But we try to get them in so that we choose topics that range and will appeal to all the different demographics at a company.
I love it. I love it. Lara, thank you so much for being on. I want to have you back another time just because I think it's a great topic. Not enough people know about it as an option, and I think that would be phenomenal if we could do that. So
I'd love it.
Awesome. Lara, thank you for being here, and thank you all for being here. Lara Galloway, Senior Vice President of Financial Education with Enlighten 567. I'm your host, Greg Coyne, with the MISHRM Videocast. Thank you all for being here, and until next time, take care, everyone.